Well, whether it's around the barn, the horse stalls, or the house and garden irrigation, it seems like water hoses are always in the way around here. So today, we're going to offer a review of the third generation expandable water hose. And I'm hoping that will solve our problem of excess hose laying around. Let's see how it works out. So first, let's begin with our disclaimer. We accepted this product in exchange for a review, but as always, we only accept items under the condition that we can give an honest review, pros and cons, based under normal, practical, everyday use around our farm. So that being said, let's unpack this box and see what's inside. Okay, this is a very nicely packaged hose, and on first glance, it looks a lot different than what I expected. It's actually a very thin, stretchy, just interesting rubber feeling material. So curious to see how that works out. You've got the hose, a hose holder you can hang on the wall, some replacement washers, tape, plumber's tape, and a spray nozzle. These are always a nice addition. We go through a lot of them around here. There's also a set of instructions, and there's also a lifetime warranty card for any non-artificial damage. Free returns provided. So let's get this thing all put together, hooked up, and we're gonna see how it works. Well, according to the instructions, the first time you use the hose, you turn the valve off and allow the hose to stretch and expand. Then you release the water, turn it back off, and allow it to expand once more before actually using it. So we're gonna do that right now. Go ahead, Ruth. So it's filling with water now. You can see it moving around just a little bit. We're just gonna let it get some pressure in there. It's much firmer now. So we'll let a little of the water out. That was air. We'll let it get all the air out. Now I'll try it again. Now it's really filling up. I think I'll do it one more time for good measure here. All right. You can see how it swells each time I do that. So you let the pressure off, it begins to shrink and just comes out nice and steady, and then you turn it off and the hose swells back up. All right, let's hook this thing up. I'm gonna irrigate the garden with it today and see how it works for that. So just for fun, I decided to do a side-by-side comparison of a 75-foot, 3/4-inch heavy-duty farm hose, which is what we have standard on the farm, compared to the 100-foot Lefree water hose that we were testing. As you can see, it takes up significantly less space for storage. So we've been using this hose about every day for maybe 10 days now. And it was a bit different than what I had originally expected to receive. So I had planned to, use it for different things around the farm, but due to the size and the pressure allowed, it really became most useful to us in the garden for irrigation. So here I've got it attached to our irrigation pipe that we connect. I want to point out a couple of things we've noticed after this 10 days or so of use. It has developed a couple of crinkles, and these almost seem to be spots that have weakened because it's a little tougher down here and it seems a little weaker here. Hopefully you can see that on the camera. Now, that may simply be a process of the stretching that occurs when it swells with water. I don't know, and I don't know how it's going to affect the longevity of the hose, but so far it doesn't cause any problem. It's just worth noting. Another thing I wanted to point out is you will see here on the hardware, the brass says 3/4. Now, I don't know if they're trying to say this is the equivalent of a 3/4 hose, or if it's just the size of the brass. I'm not sure what the purpose of that 3/4 is, but I will say this definitely does not have the water flow of a 3/4 inch hose. The red one that you saw us compare with side by side earlier, that's a 3/4 hose, very handy around the farm. This is probably more equivalent to the pressure and volume of a 1/2 inch hose, even when you swell it and then let the water flow through. So it's definitely not something that's going to fill a livestock trough very quickly. But like I said, we found that it works great around the garden. You know, when I plug it into my irrigation system, which is basically the pipes and the drip lines, it works fine. I just set it on a timer, and it really doesn't matter how fast the water flows because it's being scaled down by the pressure gauges anyway. So it works great for that, and I don't have all the big bulky hose laying around anymore. A third note I'll make is that you might want to consider getting one of the colored hoses that they offer, because quite frankly, with the size and shininess of this one, it really does look a lot like a snake slithering through the grass or under my porch. Keep that in mind if you have anyone afraid of snakes. So to close with the Lefree 100-foot expandable water hose, they do have a lifetime warranty for the product based on standard usage. Obviously nothing that you cause, but otherwise I am happy with it for the garden. We're going to keep using it for that, like I said, and I'll stick with my big heavy-duty farm hoses for the rest of the farm and moving stuff around like we do. If you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss future practical farm reviews for different products that we test. And be sure to leave a comment. Let us know how you might find one of these pretty useful around your place. See you next time.